In this box is the internet's worst kept secret, the Tom Delonge Signature Strat from Fender. So, I got one, I'm going to unbox it, I'm going to play it, let's have a look. This guitar is from Thomann, and there is a link in the video description should you want to own one yourself. Here it is, here it comes. It is in a soft case. Oh, there's the accessory pack, and a little bit of protective cardboard, and the bag. Ugh. This is the same bag that comes with most of the Mexican Fenders I've tried recently. So we've got a couple of little pockets on the front. Anything in there? There should be I was going to say a tremolo arm. There's no tremolo arm on this Strat because it's a hard tail. What a silly boy, Andy. So there should be nothing in there, but I'm still going to look, you know, because aliens exist. There is something. It's the strap for the case. Wow. All right. Okay. I'm so excited about unboxing this because I have wanted one since about 1999. I'm not sure they were out in 1999, but since Enema of the State, I have secretly loved Blink-182 because they're fun. Oh, it's yellow. It's yellow. It's yellow. That's good because that's the one I ordered. In fact, let's put it down there so we can all enjoy this unboxing together. Ready? Ready? Headstock reveal? Yes. Big ol' headstock. Tickets to say that it's from Fender. One of them's fallen off. I am so bad at taking these bags off, and I hate that squeak. Oh, it smells gorgeous. That's a funny thing to say about a guitar, but it's true. Look at that yellow. Come on out, baby. Yes. Wow. All right, that needs to go, of course. Okay, first impressions is that there's a little bit of feel on the frets. I can feel those frets not sticking out in a nasty way, but I can feel them. That's a bit odd. Also, that pickup, what's going on with that? Can you see the pickup seems super low? Is that how it's supposed to be? It's also kind of wonky. We've, of course, got the one volume knob. We've got a fixed bridge. We've got a Invader humbucker from Seymour Duncan. A satin finish neck. Let's pop that off. We've got vintage tuners, which I think are the best tuners on a Fender guitar, and in fact on other guitars as well, because you can just pop the string in, wind it round, and off you go. It's kind of locked. I personally dig this large headstock much more than the original Strat headstock. Flame me in the comments for saying something like that, but I think it's true. Oh yeah, on the back, we've got the Tom Delonge signature neck plate thing. I'm going to take that off. There we go. Oh, that was satisfying. Now, I saw some other people on the internet complaining about neck pocket issues, but I am seeing nothing there. There's no problem whatsoever. And I have to draw attention to these frets. These frets are the shiniest frets I've seen on a Fender guitar for a while. They are much shinier and better polished than the Player Plus series that I reviewed recently, even though that was pretty good. This is stunning. Everything so far seems absolutely on point. I'm amazed. This looks and feels like an S1 switch. I thought I'd discovered an Easter egg then, but it isn't. It's just a very cool knurled knob, which I love because you can grip them. And yeah, exactly that's what Tom's got it there for, so you can off and on, and off and on, and off and on. So initial impressions are, this is a good guitar. It cost €1,400 to purchase. I'm going to find out how it sounds. But first, I need to tune it up and check out the experience with these vintage tuners. So, stretching out the strings a little. Right, no pops or clicks or twings or twangs. That was absolutely enjoyable. The strings are great as well. They must be Fender strings, surely. In fact, let me check that. I got it. It's Fender USA 250R nickel-plated steel 10 to 46 strings. We're also looking at an older body with a polyurethane finish, a maple neck, and a rosewood fretboard. And I have to say that is one of the nicest rosewood fretboards I've ever seen. Super dark, super uniform. There's a little bit of polishing compound left on it, which I'm fine with. I can clean that off. But out of the box, that's a pretty decent looking guitar. Everything points to perfect at this stage. Right, let's do some sounds. I think the most sensible thing at the moment is to go through the Boss Katana, so let's do that and set up some kind of tone on that. In fact, I'll put the link to this tone in the video description if you fancy it. I've got it set up on a sort of dual rectifier Mesa Boogie sort of setting, and let's go for the first time. Oh! Now, that's the first time I've played through that patch, so I'm not going to comment on the sounds yet, but the playability is phenomenal. That is a player's guitar setup. It's absolutely a joy to play. I love the satin neck. I love the setup. Everything feels like it is where it should be. Phenomenal. Of course, I'm going to do some more sounds, we'll do some clean, but so far, I haven't played guitar for about a week due to a hand injury and a bit of illness. And this is an absolute joy to play. I was a little bit worried about playing today, if I'm honest. It's loud, unplugged. Yeah, it's loud, it's thick, it's got the 10 to 46 strings on it, so there's a little bit of resistance due to my weak hand. But that's a good feeling guitar. I've realized one thing. I'm looking at the vintage tuners, which look great, and I'm sure they're hold tuning, but my brain was expecting locking tuners, which I know doesn't make any sense because that's not the signature guitar. This is Tom's spec. But my brain was expecting locking tuners, and I'm sure some of you were as well. Just keep looking at this finish. It's gorgeous. And I'll even say that I enjoy the pearloid pickguard, which I don't normally. I normally would say that this is the worst choice of pickguard ever in the world, but for some reason it works on this. And I think that's because Blink-182 for me are a fun band, and they sort of epitomize that era of my life when I wasn't enjoying guitar that much. And I was about 18 when Enema of the State was released, and I actually stopped playing guitar shortly afterwards for a little mental health break. We didn't call it that back in those days. But yeah, this guitar now, it signals that to me. That guitar playing is fun, and music is fun. And one should just sometimes have a one pickup, one knob guitar and thrash out some power chords. Okay, that's revealed to me that the low E string is out of intonation, so I'm going to check that because I can't deal with that. But beware that my guitar's low E is out of whack. Rather worryingly, I've got the saddle back almost as far as I can get it back, and it's still not intonated properly. So I'm going to loosen the neck plate and see if I can move the neck ever so slightly. Ah! Did you hear that? There was a little crack then. That means the neck's moved a little bit. Let's tune it back up. You should have heard that quite audible crack when the neck moved, so that's encouraging. Hopefully the bridge is not in the wrong place. So let's tune it back up and do the intonation again. Yeah, that's a lot better. Although the low E is not quite where I want it to be. To make it exactly where I want it to be, I'd need to cut that spring behind it because it's just not back far enough. But it's almost there. It's like 95% there, which should be enough. It was fine-ish coming out of the box, but now it is So now that I have the guitar set up more as I like it, I'm going to delve a bit further into the tones. Which is kind of odd, because it only has a volume knob, so it's more a case of how does it interact with my playing and the different amps. And I don't have a Mesa Boogie amp, but I want to get some more of that sort of JCM 900, Mesa Boogie, Tom Delonge, Enema of the State tones. I've got a pedal that should be able to get me some of the way there. I'm going to go into the Ibanez Pentatone, and this pedal can be quite finicky, to say the least. So here's some tones with the Fender Deluxe Reverb and the Pentatone going into the Strymon Flint. So, some clean. It's kind of hard, like demoing a one pickup, one knob guitar because I'm not sure what I should be doing. I guess let's roll off the volume, see what happens. Dies. But it's fairly consistent down to 0. So that's 10. That's just on. I love the Invader pickup. It's so good. Right, after I've warmed the guitar up a little bit and I've got into it, I mentioned at the beginning of the video that you could feel the frets, but they're not sticking out. They're nowhere near cutting my hands, and it's just, you can just kind of feel where you are on the neck, if that makes sense. There's kind of little speed bumps, but they're not really in the way. I kind of like it. It's like a very nice tactile finish. Also, I've got to say, I love this neck. I really dig a satin finish. I'm not into big high gloss finishes that are all sticky. And this, if you want to go up and down the neck, is absolutely gorgeous. And I've noticed that some people online have compared this to the original. And I see this as an upgrade. Definitely a feature that I would want over a shiny, sticky finish. That's beautiful. Right, let's weigh this beastie. So, cable out, not making that mistake again, and then tar that, and then put the guitar on, and we have 3.4 kilograms, which compared to my custom shop telly is 3.45. So the Tom DeLonge is lighter than my really light telly, or my comfortably light telly. And I haven't got another Fender Strat near me, and I'm not getting up, but let's compare it to this Schecter. Right, this Schecter, which is a full-on, I would call heavy guitar. Really, that Schecter always feels heavy to me. It's coming in at 3.65. And again, the Tom DeLonge. There we go. 3.35. Okay, it's changed. It's lost 5 grams. Anyway, it's a comfortable guitar. I'll put it on a strap. Let's put it on a strap to see how it feels. Yeah, that's a comfortable, albeit a little bit high, Strat. I'm quite big as well. I'm 6'3" or 4", depending on what time of day it is. Yeah, that's a good feeling guitar. I am extremely happy with this, and that leads me on to something that I'm not very happy about. And that is several friends of mine that have also purchased this guitar have reached out to me and said that the guitar was not that good. And I was really nervous unboxing this, which is exactly why I did it on camera, because I wanted to document the actual unboxing. I cannot fault this apart from that E string not going back far enough, which I can fix. It's almost there. However, some friends of mine who shall not be named have purchased these, and problems range from finishing issues to the Fender logo being offset, like as in the wrong place. I feel so lucky and so thankful, and I shouldn't, because this is 1,400 euros. And if you're paying 1,400 euros for a guitar, you should expect excellence, regardless of whether it comes from California or Mexico or China or just down the street from the local bloke. In fact, actually, if the local bloke near you builds a guitar for 1,400, that's a pretty good deal. But my point is, a major guitar manufacturer should be building spotless, perfect guitars for 1,400 euros. And this one almost is. The other ones that I've been speaking about are not. Yeah. I think this should have come in at around $11.99, which would make it more comparable to the original run. Because the original run were $500, I believe, in the first year of production. And with inflation and all that sort of adjustment of things being super expensive these days, $11.99 is roughly where it's at, or $999.99 would be a more useful price. And also what you're getting with this is the bare minimum of the bare minimum. It's not even as if you've got 3 pickups and the whole electronics thing going on. You've just got one Invader. And therefore the cost of the electrics are far less, and the assembly, because there's less to do with the wiring. So this should be cheaper, and it isn't. That being said, I just can't help but love it. And there's a big reason for that. Nostalgia. I am exactly the right age to be the target market for this guitar. I am 42 years old, and everyone that was into Blink-182 at the height of their popularity would be around the same age as me, or possibly slightly younger. And therefore, Fender are locking onto that nostalgia factor. And even though I own more Strats than I should, more than I need, this is another one that feels like it should be in my collection. And it reminds me of the Kurt Cobain Fender Jaguar, because it's this big high output guitar that feels thrashy and has that nice ka-chunk ka-chunk. Oh, and yeah, it makes me feel young again. Anyway, I'm going to do much more with this guitar, so if there's something specific you want to hear or see, please let me know in the comments section. Finally, I think that Fender should absolutely release a Squier version of this, and if they don't, there is the Squier Sonic, which is basically the same sort of setup, and you can get outrageous colors, one pickup and a fixed bridge, for about, I think, 200 or 300 euros, or whatever that price is near you. I'll put a link to that guitar in the video description as well. Maybe I'll get one in and mod it. Would you fancy that? If you do, again, let me know in the comments. And just to be safe, click that button there to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future videos from me. I'm going to go off and play some songs with naughty words in them. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!